Ever risked too big and a single trade wiped out your entire month's profit? That's not bad luck, that's bad position sizing. Let's fix it. Hi, I am Pranav VK, an NISM-certified trader and trainer and your risk coach here at Kotak Stockshaala. Today, we'll uncover one of the biggest secrets pro traders use, that is position sizing. It will show you how much capital to risk, how much position sizings to take, and most importantly, will you survive long enough to win big. Position sizing simply means how much shares or how many lots should you trade in. If your position sizing is too small, then you feel like nothing is happening. But if your position sizing is too big, then a single trade can lead you to panic and exit early. But with the right kind of position sizing, you're at a sweet spot where your risk is controlled, your psychology is calm, and you're having the maximum profit for the risk that you're taking. Here's the golden rule of position sizing. Never risk more than 1 to 2% on your capital on a single trade. To help you understand what I have shared so far, let me help you with an example. Let's imagine this is the overall capital I have for my trading, and this is 1 lakh rupees. And for ease of understanding, let's keep each of the value of these coins to be 1000 rupees. And we have around 100 coins here. Now, instead of deploying my entire capital for a single trade, I would like to be smart about it and make sure that I'm going to be risking only 1% or 2% of my entire capital. So how exactly can I do that? Now let's say your stop loss per share is rupees 10. In that case, you have to decide what is the quantity that you're going to deploy into the market so that in case your strategy does not work as per plan, then your loss is not going to exceed 1% of your entire capital. The formula to calculate your quantity is your risk divided by stop loss. So for a 1 lakh capital, the risk that you're willing to take on a single trade is 1000 rupees. So 1000 rupees divided by rupees 10 per share, that is going to be 100 quantities. Now that we have determined that your position sizing is going to be 100 quantities, let's look at how the math is going to look like in different scenarios. Now since we are using only 100 quantities per trade, we will not require the entire capital, but we will be using a partial of the entire capital. Now, scenario 1, let's consider you're going to have losses in the next 5 trades. Now that we have determined that your loss per trade is going to be 1000 rupees, you're going to be losing 5 times, that is losing 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000 and 5000. So the total amount of money that you're actually losing, even if you lose 5 continuous trades, is 5000 rupees. Now can you see here that the overall capital was this much, but you're deploying only this much, and finally, even if you lose continuously 5 times, you're losing only a very small part of the entire capital. Now that we know how it looks like if you lose 1% on a specific trade, now let's take another scenario where a trader is losing 20% every single trade. Now under scenario 2, let's have the following metrics. The stop loss is still going to be rupees 10 per stock, and the risk per trade is going to be 20%, which means we have to calculate our new position sizing. The quantity formula equals risk divided by stop loss. Our risk is 20% of 1 lakh, that is 20,000 rupees, divided by our stop loss is 10 rupees. So the quantity is now is 2000. Earlier in scenario 1, when the risk per trade was only 1%, our position sizing was 100 and the capital deployed was only a part of it. But now, since the risk per trade has gone up to 20%, the capital will be the entire 100% that will be deployed. Now let's look at scenario 2, where the trader is losing continuously 5 times, and each time when he loses, he's losing 20% of the capital. So the first loss, he's losing 20,000. And the second loss, he's again losing 20,000. And the third loss is again losing 20,000. And the fourth loss, again he's losing 20,000. And finally, when he loses the fifth time, he's losing his entire capital. And that's exactly why position sizing and risk per trade is very important and crucial in your strategy. So if you are a trader who wants to follow scenario 1, then you will stay in the game for longer term and probably win big. But if you follow scenario 2, then just after a losing streak, then you'll have to start auditioning for a new career. Now in the previous example, I took the stop loss to be constant in both the scenarios. But now we will discuss how you can adjust your position sizing depending on different strategies. Sometimes in your strategy, you'll have to keep a tighter stop loss, which means you can actually go ahead with a higher position size. But sometimes you'll have to keep a wider stop loss, which means you'll have to go ahead with smaller position sizing. And if the volatility in the markets is extremely high, and in those cases, I would actually avoid trading. In case the markets are extremely volatile, in those cases, you have to make sure that you're shrinking your risk even more by reducing the position size by a large extent. Always remember, your position sizing should be dependent on your stop loss, not on your greed. Here are the top 3 common mistakes that you must avoid. Number 1. Trading with the same quantity every time, ignoring the stop loss distance. Number 2. Increasing your position sizing just after a losing streak, revenge trading. And number 3, just like we saw, risking 10 to 20% of your capital on high conviction trades, which can lead to eventually wipe out. High conviction is just usually high emotions in disguise. Good position sizing isn't just about numbers, it's about emotions. If your trading size is too big, then every tick on the candlestick chart is going to make your heart race. But if the position sizing is right, then you'll be able to execute your plan flawlessly. Here's one thing that you should remember. The best traders don't wait for big wins, but rather they go for small risks and consistent profits. So let's do a quick recap of what we have learned so far. Number 1, position sizing is deciding how much quantity or lots you're going to trade. And remember, your position sizing should be dependent on your stop loss and not based on your greed. Number 2, don't risk more than 1 to 2% of your capital in a single trade so that you can stay longer even after a losing streak. Number 3, the formula to calculate your quantity is total risk divided by stop loss. So your risk per trade, if it is 1% on a capital of 1 lakh rupees, then it is 1000 rupees divided by your stop loss, that is 10 rupees, so that is equal to 100 quantities. Adjust your position sizing based on your stop loss distance as well as the volatility in the markets. And finally, the right sizing keeps your emotions under control. Remember, trading isn't about how much you can make in a single trade, but it's about how long you can stay in the game. If you like this video, go ahead and share it with your friends and subscribe to Stockshaala by Kotak Securities. I am Pranav and I'm going to see you in the next video.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.